Okay, so the second part of the unit number 4 is WHMIS. So we started earlier also. So workplace hazardous materials information system. So what are the goals of this workplace hazardous information system? So these are preventative health hazards and reduce it. First we have to take the preventive health hazard measures, and second thing, we have to reduce the accidents. How workplace hazardous materials information system will help to reduce the accidents on industry work floor. So this is what the goals. These are what the goals of the workplace hazardous materials information system. So what are the categories out there? There are classes to identify. So class A, class B, and class C. In class A, it is the figure shown is about compressed gases. Here it is a figure is known as for compressed gases. Another is material causing immediate and serious toxic effects. So this is the skull image that is used to identify the materials causing immediate and serious toxic effects. Second thing, in class B, this is the class B. Here it is shown flammable and combustible materials. Class C, oxidizing materials. Class D, materials causing other toxic effects, maybe anything. In class D again, biohazardous infectious materials. Class K, it is corrosive materials. Whatever corrosive materials that are coming under class K. Class F, dangerously reactive material. So these are the totally dangerously reactive material that are coming finally under class F. So these are the classes made by WHMIS classes, are also known as WHMIS classes, and hazard symbols. The effect of certain chemical depends on several factors. One is there are the routes of entry, the physical properties of the substance, the work practices, the nature of the exposure, combined exposures, and the susceptibility of workers, and finally the toxicity of the material. So these are the main effect of a certain chemical depends on several factors. There are number of routes body. We have routes of the body through which any chemical can enter, any chemical vapor can enter. So it is also that this will directly affect the respiratory system of our body. The physical properties of substance. Every material has its own inherent property. So first we have to read out the inherent material property, and then accordingly we have to act for the safety. Even in work practices, how we adapt the work practice is one of the major cause of hazard. The nature of the exposure, you have to study the nature of the exposure of the material also. So if there are combined exposures. If your combination of the reaction A is plus B is equal to AB as a product, or C as the product, because it is a combination of A plus B, so you have to ultimately study about the C. So that will give the combined exposures of the material. Effect of chemicals. So what are the effects of chemicals? First effect of chemicals, it will cause irritation, allergies, lack of oxygen, systematic poisoning, cancer, damage to the unborn fetus, effects on future generations, and pneumoconiosis, dusty lung. So definitely dusty lung. I want to give you some examples regarding here how it causes allergies and about allergies and dusty lung. So suppose anybody is a chain smoker. Yeah, definitely there are people who are always took cigarettes every day. When suppose if you're some people, I will give some case study also, like kind of case study it is. one of my friend was, because it is was I'm using was a chain smoker, and he was a he was acting as a general GM of the one of the biggest chemical company. And he went, what he was doing, in his intervals, that is lunch and coffee time, he used to go outside of the compound of the industry, and he used to smoke, uh, and he used to smoke a lot. So after 2 3 years, what happened? Ultimately, he got some irritation, allergies, and he went to doctor. So doctor said that you have been your lungs are been damaged, and your blood has become black, and you are on the final stage of the cancer. So this is how, because he is following up the system, that he is going out for smoking. But what happened, the reaction take place between the vapors of the chemicals, and vapors of the chemicals while he was smoking, they reacted with this, they reacted, vapors reacted and caused the blood cancer. So this is actually, very 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 strong precautions should be taken up while these things. So you should not do these things in your working hours. Okay, so that's what I want to say, because this is the direct effect caused, and ultimately within 6 months he died. Yeah, within 6 months he died. This is the case. This is a long story, actually. So every chemical engineer has to make his own. He has to focus upon his own health. So, and you have to study the what should the how the effect of chemicals will cause or will damage how immune system, body, everything. Everybody has to think this. Okay, so these are the effects of the about related to the chemicals. Then how chemicals enter the body. So first thing is the ingestion, swallowing the chemical, inhalation, breathing in the chemical, absorption, the chemical soaks through the skin, and finally the injection. These are the roots of the chemicals that will enter to your body. So always ingestion, swallowing of the chemical. During this, you have to keep in mind you should not keep your mouth open. Inhalation, breathing in the chemical. So while you are inhalation, you have to follow some safety mask and everything. So these are the thing, chemical absorption. Somebody is, I said earlier that allergies, the skin has some allergies, so you have to check up with your first doctor whether what allergy precautions will be taken up. So these are to avoid the chemicals to enter the body. Okay, we will discuss this in part 3.